Hello, hello. Welcome back to Confident Conversation, season number 2. And today I've got a very special guest.
Hi, I'm Lisey Tigra. I'm very happy to be here. I'm an artist, singer, guitarist, producer, engineer. and I'm really happy to be here.
100%. I had to have you on. Something that really attracted me to your profile was your guitar playing. It reminded me a lot of Carlos Santana.
Yes.
But you're like, I'd say you rank above him.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously he's a huge influence. I have huge respect for him.
Yeah.
Part of what inspires me so much about him is he's kind of like that fusion of the two things that I really love in music, which is, he comes from blues, rock, and that's kind of like how I started playing guitar. I was a big like rock chick, metalhead, and guitar kind of really helped me through a lot of challenges in my teenage years. And then when I started exploring like my Latina roots, being here in London, I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like this call to explore that in my music. Obviously Carlos Santana was like my inspiration because he kind of combined his roots. He's Mexican and Mexican American, and he combines blues and Latin music, and a lot of his sounds like I always call it like, that pentatonic with the second on this scale. I feel like it sounds so beautiful on guitar, and it's something that I love using in my improvisation, and it really like inspires me. I think I posted on my Instagram the other day, like just playing something like that, and honestly, like when I play it and I film myself, I look at my face and I'm like, wow, like I'm literally on another planet. And that's what I love about guitar, and I love about playing and music.
100%. I think I came across your page through a post you just put out. I think it was your song. Oh, what was the song? Not the one that you just released. Not again. What was the one?
Oh yeah, Latin Rockstar.
Latin Rockstar.
Yeah.
And I think I saw him post one of you performing at a festival. And I think once I saw that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of my favorite parts of what I do is like the live aspect of things. For me is so important. I love having a band on stage. I think it's something that sometimes we lack in kind of like the urban genres. A lot of people can't really like maybe afford to have a band early on, or just maybe don't want to, and it's only kind of like reserved for the big artists, like Karol G. You see them all like with bands on stage, and it sounds amazing. But I was very lucky to have received funding from the Arts Council this year for my live shows. So I was able to have a band. I had a musical director that really helped me like elevate what I was doing and fulfill kind of like my vision. And honestly, it's just the beginning of what you're gonna see live. That was just like, the very start of developing that vision. But
well, 100%. I can't wait to see that. I think something I'm looking forward to is seeing you perform. You're actually the first guest I haven't seen perform or actually met previously. But I'm very excited to sort of have you on. A few of your friends are coming on as well. We were speaking about it earlier. I think for me, it's having that relationship with the guests, to not to grow, but just sort of being there and sort of supporting each other.
Yeah, 100%. So important.
100%. I sort of said to you before, Katie, Emeka, Tiffany, they've all supported me in the last year.
Yeah.
But their friendship is amazing. You know that. You say you celebrate your successes, but are they hard on you, or are you hard on each other when it comes to something they might not like in your music, or they go, it's not really that sort of feel? Or is it always like, this is...
No, we're certainly like very honest with each other. So obviously I write with Katie, and she, for example, like the other day I recorded this song that we wrote together, and then she heard like my last recorded version, and she was like, girl, like you have to re-record that, like it's not giving, like you're not delivering it like the way that you're meant to. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And I went back into the studio and I did it again. Because I listen, I'm never insulted by any criticism. Like I actually love like when people can see the potential, because I don't feel like, I mean, at least not my friends would tell me something unless they knew I could do it better. And that for me is a compliment. And I love that.
100%. I think I used to be the opposite of that. I used to hate the criticism. Anything negative, I'd be like, you're wrong. I know better than you. I know what I'm doing. But actually it helps a lot to hear that it's not right. It's not working in your favor. And the thing with them is they're always very happy to support you and celebrate you. But I think it's really important to actually take that criticism and go, okay, what can I change? What can I make different? Or how do I deliver it differently to make it more like a stronger sort of impact?
100%. Like I think as artists and musicians, we're always growing and the learning never stops. I feel like I'm grateful that I'm confident in my ability to improve, because I don't think I really had any sort of like innate musical talent when I was a child. I feel like, you know, some people, it's like a gift in a way from very young. They just have like this musical ear. I was not. Like, I loved music, but I really struggled. Like it didn't come naturally to me. I really had to put in the work, and I did. Like I would practice for hours. Growing up, I went to university for music. I trained my ear a lot. I know a lot about theory, not because, you know, I want to be like this snobby musician, but because there was no other way. I didn't have the natural ear. So for me, like when I see music, I kind of like see like all these skills in my head, like going on and trying to figure things out more mathematically in a way, because that's what I'm inclined to. So that's why when somebody gives me criticism, like for me it's a challenge to be like, okay, like I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna put in the work and elevate this to the point where they're like, wow, like you did it, and I'm proud. And I think that's beautiful. So.
100%. In saying that, you and Katie are amazing songwriters. I've heard some of your stuff. I've seen the work that you put in. I've seen Katie's stories with both of you in the studio. How tough was it to make that choice to go, you know what, let us support others and help them songwrite? Or is it just like
it wasn't hard at all. Like it's something that we wanted to do for a while, especially Katie, like because she's been pursuing songwriting for a while. I wasn't really like looking into that so much because I felt like I maybe didn't feel like very confident in my songwriting abilities to write for others. But then in the past year, I've been in the studio a lot. I've been in the studio with some really great songwriters, and I feel like I've also elevated my songwriting. And the sessions that we've had with Katie, like it's just been very fluid, like very smooth. Like we play on each other's ideas, and it's great when we kind of connect with another artist and try to express their vision. We just love it. Honestly, like it wasn't like we want to support other artists. We want to provide that guidance that we feel like we didn't really have. Like I've worked with a lot of producers and in the past, and I've worked with some maybe a few years ago. Recently I've had more supportive people, but a few years ago when I was just starting, it's like they literally just wanted to, you know, they wanted for me to pay for my session, like get my songs and like, you know, piss off. Like literally, like I felt no follow-up from them when I put out my songs. Like they wouldn't even like repost on their stories. Like things that are small, but they kind of like show,
Yeah.
you know.
The appreciation.
Yeah. So, but recently I've been very lucky to have met really supportive people. Like, for example, Dukus and Gawo. I work with them a lot, and I think they've really kind of like, I don't know, I feel like they're just very supportive. They care about what I'm doing, they care about my project, they care about elevating it regardless of, you know, like the studio time, like and that's what Katie and I want to do for artists who are just starting out. Obviously we're still in our beginning stages, but artists that are like just coming onto the scene, to provide that guidance, to provide kind of like a place where they can develop authentically. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Just out of curiosity, were you born here?
No, I was born in Colombia.
Okay.
I was born in Bogota, but most of all of my family in Colombia are from Neiva, which is like a little city in the south of Colombia. And but I was raised in Bogota. And then I moved to London like 6 years ago. I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I moved here to study music and pursue my dream of being a rock star. So yeah, like I thought I was gonna be like this rocker chick, like in bands, like playing in pubs, and I was that for the first few years. I played like little underground bars. I had a rock band, and then I've evolved from there. But it's been a great journey. It's been very tough at times, but I'm happy.
Lonely?
A bit lonely. Yes, I'm an introvert, so I don't mind being alone a lot of the time. But I've still always had a very kind of like supportive, small group around me. My parents are extremely supportive, even though they don't live with me. Like we're in contact all of the time, and they support me like emotionally. And yeah, I've always had like, one or two close friends, and I feel like that's all you really need.
Yeah, I think growing up as an introvert, it's difficult to put yourself out there, but it's easier to sort of keep to yourself.
Yeah.
You put the hard work in when
Yeah.
you're by yourself and you're sort of in that mindset, but it's very hard to go, this is what I've done, this is what I've created.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why maybe a lot of artists and musicians suffer from mental health is because in order for an artist, especially an artist who's a musician, so somebody who has put in a lot of work to develop a craft, they're usually introverted people that then are forced to be extroverted, and that I feel like creates kind of like a little like clash in the mind, if you're not able to kind of be a bit of a chameleon. Like I feel like I can definitely be an extrovert like when I need to be, but like very short periods of time. But being an introvert is definitely nice because it's easier for you to, as you said, like putting the work alone. Which is hard when you just want to be out all the time. And
I think as an introvert, even now, because I'm very introverted as well, so I barely go out, I barely go like a discotecas, a los conciertos. I barely do that, but people sort of take that as laziness, because they don't. Okay, so I'm mostly locked in my room, put it that way. But I'm doing the work, I'm putting the effort in to grow. But people don't see that. They might see it as antisocial, not very boring. But for me, it's like, I would rather work and put the work in rather than to go out, because I can do that afterwards.
Yeah, I get you. I was very much like that when I was younger. Like, I'd just be locked in my room playing guitar. I was a bit of a weird kid at school. Like, I would carry my guitar around school because during the breaks, like during lunch and stuff, I just go to the music room and practice. So I was a bit of like, bit of a loner. But you know, it's all great because it gave me something that I'm really proud of. I'm really happy I put in that work because today I have a skill that I'm just able to use in so many different ways. Like playing guitar is my day job, you know, like it's the way that I sustain myself. I teach guitar, I play sessions, I do theater. I'm doing a pantomime in December, which is gonna be quite fun. Yeah. So, you know, all those things, as long as you put in the work and you're happy with yourself, that's what matters. As long as you're holding yourself accountable and helping yourself develop and grow, I don't feel like anyone can take that away from you. Because sometimes when you go out, and maybe a lot of people I know in the past have like maybe based their self-worth around their social groups. And even though having like friends in a social group is very beautiful and amazing, it's also something that sometimes you have no control over it leaving your life. And then what are you left with, you know? But for example, no one can take away from me like my skills in guitar. Only I can do that if I just like decide not to play guitar for like 5 years. But you know, it's mine and no one can take it. So I think that's what you have to work towards, like just being happy within yourself regardless.
I agree with that. I just think, like I said before, I think being an introvert for me works in my favor. It helps me sort of, especially with the podcast, focus on what I need to do. I know what I'm talking about. I sort of know who I want. And now that I've got a manager, it helps me massively. Because now I'm like, okay, I'm not sort of just relying on myself. I'm relying on Luch, in the sense of, if I don't work, then he's gonna be on my ass and he's gonna be annoyed. But for me, I like it. I like being an introvert and sort of putting my fun side second. Out of curiosity, what's your sort of goal? What's your end goal, if you have one?
I have very big dreams, you know. I feel like, I don't know, I just want to take this as far as it can go. I see a lot of potential in like my live show going forward, so I'd love to play like big stadiums. When I envision like what I want to achieve, I don't see like you know, like gold like records on the wall or platinum. I see like big crowds, I see like lights, I see glitter and just energy and magic, because I think that's what a live show is bringing a magical experience to people, you know, who maybe like they just want an escape. And I think that's what my live show can bring in the future. So yeah, that's what I see. I see big stages, big productions, beautiful like energies and magic on stage.
I love that.
I might be Super Bowl one day.
You never know.
You never know, but
you never know.
You know, I've seen it in here.
100%. I think that's something that I've actually learned from Luch. Anything you sort of can manifest and you can sort of dream, it's within reach. It's something that can become a reality. Yeah,
for sure. I've seen that happen. I feel like I manifested my my manager. I always dreamed and prayed for someone who would believe in me and support me. And I feel like that's what Troy is. Like, he's just a one of my biggest supporters and believers in me. So yeah, I mean, you just have to kind of see it, you have to feel it, and you have to stay positive. A lot of people, like, you know, talk about evil eye and how you shouldn't really say the things that you want to achieve and stuff. But I think it's important to put it out there, because there might be people who, you know, kind of hear it and be like, oh no, like she's never gonna do that. But there's gonna be one person that's like, oh, like if she believes that she can do it, like I see that vision as well, so like I'm gonna reach out to her and make it happen. And I feel like that's what happened with Troy. Like I met Ali and he asked me, what do you want to do? And I was like, you know, I'm gonna be the female Santana, I'm gonna be the female Prince. And then like he called up Troy and he was like, you have to meet this girl, like she's crazy but she's great. And then like that's how Troy and I met.
Oh, okay.
You know. So and he believes in my, you know, crazy vision, and that's what matters.
100%. I think my sister's a big believer of the evil eye. She doesn't say anything to anyone. Every time I have an interview, she's like, no, you can have one. Because that's I leave. And she's right. But the way I see it is, if it doesn't work out the way you want it to, it's because you're destined for something better. So as this is going out in January, 2023, I sort of said, I had a video and I said I wanted to be a manager, and I sort of quit that dream. I stopped pursuing it because it just wasn't happening. I think it was for me just a time where I wanted to level up, and not sort of, that wasn't my goal. Whereas with this now, this is my focus, and everything I've manifested, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was meant to do. This is what I was meant to do.
So fun.
But yeah, I think everything happens for a reason. And to be fair, Luch was one of the first ones that believed in me and sort of said to me, Juan, this podcast can be big. And for me, it was like, it isn't that big. It's just me having a conversation. It's just not an IG live anymore. But he's just like bigger, and here I am. And I think that the people that I have to have on now is amazing, and I think they have a bigger story to influence others. That's when I reached out to you. I was like, you have this talent. The way that you play guitar is amazing. I've seen the videos and I was like, damn, she really does remind me of Carlos Santana.
That's crazy. Love that.
But yeah, and then I saw your friendships. I've seen posts of people showing your music, and it's amazing. I've heard 2 of your songs, absolutely love them. I've downloaded them again, and Latin Rockstar. Latin Rockstar is one of my favorites.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that song was very like transformative for me, because it was kind of like me just putting out there like what I want to be and what I see myself as, which is, you know, a Latina rock star. I've always been like obsessed with rock music and just like that rock star energy, because as an introvert and growing up in school, in a very toxic school where there was a lot of bullying going on, and I went through a lot of like challenges and difficult experiences that left me feeling very disempowered, and very kind of like...
Was that in Colombia?
Yeah, in Colombia, in Bogota. So rock music gave me a lot of power back, because I saw those rock stars on stage and I was like, they're just owning their shit. Like, they're just there, just being who they are and putting it out there, and they don't care. And that was what I wanted to be. I was like, I don't want to care. I just want to be myself. I just want to be happy with who I am, and, you know, have my presence in a very like humble way. You know, I don't want to be like attention. Like, no, I just want to feel happy and confident and peaceful within myself, and show respect for others, but also like have that respect for myself. And that's why putting in the work, I think, is so important, because when you put in the work for yourself, you respect yourself, and if you respect yourself, you're going to be respected in one way or another. Like, people are going to sense that energy, and they're just going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to leave her alone, because like, and that's what I kind of achieved in my later high school years. You know, I played guitar at school. Everyone was like, you know what, she's actually pretty cool. Like, you know, let's just maybe stop,
Mhm.
stop all the hate, like stop all the bullshit and just leave her be. So yeah.
Okay. Were there times where you wanted to be like, you know what, I can't be asked with music. I wanna quit and sort of focus on something else, or not really?
There have been times where I've been like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. I'm scared that my dreams are not gonna come true. Oh my god, even just talking about it literally makes me tear up. Because I know that at the end of the day, like I could never stop. Whenever I've been like, you know what, like maybe I did like, you know, maybe I was a little bit delusional, like maybe this isn't meant to be for me. It's like, okay, I spent one day literally like not playing guitar and just, you know, feeling sorry for myself and thinking about what else I'm gonna do, and the next day I'm just back at it because there's just no way to stop. Like I just know that something's gonna come up, you know, someone's gonna invite me to a session, I'm gonna go to that session, and I'm just gonna keep doing something each day. And it's just, I can never go off that path because music is my passion and it's my everything. Like I just couldn't live without it, so there's no choice for me.
Okay, fair enough. I think a lot of people quit before they get ahead. You can see they have talent at it, but the first sort of issue that they have, the first sort of hard wall they hit, they're like, mm-mm.
Yeah, for sure, and that's very sad. But you know, I mean, that's what it is. It's like it's survival of the fittest. Like it's all about just inner fortitude. Like mental fortitude for me is one of the most important traits. Like you just have to be fearless. Like, and being fearless doesn't mean like having no fear. It means having that fear. And I have those moments of like really intense fear where I'm like, if I don't make this happen for myself, I literally do not know what I'm gonna do. I have that fear and I just power through it because like I don't care if I'm still like 40, like out here trying to make it happen. Like it's literally like it's just what I have to do. And that builds character. And I think whatever happens, I know that I will be happy that I just gave it my all.
100%. I think for me it was exactly the same. When I started this journey, I remember telling my dad and my mum, I'm gonna retire you in 5 years.
Okay, love that.
2.5 years went by. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. I'm stressed. It's not working for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can to make it work. At the beginning of this year, I was the same. I was like, I'm gonna give it everything I can this year to make it happen. Again, January, February, I was like, it's not gonna happen in 5 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. It very rarely happens in the time frame that you think is gonna happen, and that's something that I've also made peace with, because you know, sometimes I just a bit of pressure. You know, like I moved here when I was 17. I thought like by 20, you know, I'm gonna have it made. Like no, like I was still playing like little pubs and like didn't really know what I was doing. It takes a lot longer than you think it's gonna take, but that doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. And that's why you just have to keep on doing it. Like there's just so many success stories at all ages, all walks of life. Like you just have to be on your own journey.
Yeah, I think for me, once I saw it to my dad, it might not happen. I was like at peace with myself, but I was like, I'm still gonna give it everything to make it happen for you lot, because you lot came here when I was 2 months old.
Desde Colombia?
Desde Colombia.
Okay.
Armenia.
¿Qué parte? Armenia. Qué nice.
Yeah, so they've given up their life to come here to give me and my sister better education. When I had my condition, their life changed a lot. And they've given up everything to sort of work for me and my sister. So for me, it was always about giving back to them and sort of showing them love and giving back to them 100%.
Yeah.
Giving them the comfortability of not having to kill themselves every day to make it for me and my sister. It's hard. It's hard for them.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, like that you want to give back, but like also you have to be on your own journey. I think parents understand like you have to develop yourself as well. And today, like, it's a hard world. I feel like things happen a bit later maybe for a lot of people because there's just, you know, so many issues, like so much like competition in so many industries that, and I think that they know that it's fine if it just takes a little bit longer, and I don't think they would put that pressure on you.
They wouldn't. They've always said to me, don't rush into anything, don't make any stupid decisions, don't worry about us. Pero en mi cabeza I'm like, no, you've done this for me for 30 years. It means more to me to sort of retire them, for them to be like, okay, we're done, we're comfortable.
Yeah, it will happen.
Yeah, eventually. Hopefully.
I believe it. I trust that.
Hopefully. But yeah, it's difícil. It's difícil.
Total. That's a beautiful thing.
100%. I think I got a bit emotional there because just thinking about that goal of that I had for so long is difficult.
Yeah. And I'm sure they appreciate it. I think a lot of the times, like, parents just want their kids to be grateful, like, for and to appreciate and to understand everything that they've done. Because a lot of kids, like, don't really understand, like, maybe until they themselves have kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy to blame your parents for, like, certain things or whatever. Like, I think as long as you're appreciative and you're grateful and you're working towards that, I think they're gonna be happy.
Hopefully. I mean, my dad's asking for a car already, so.
Es como, yo quiero mi carro, a ver, póngase a trabajar.
Quiere su camioneta. What does he want? Un Toyota 7 sillas.
Okay.
I thought I'd get it for him, but right now, that's not happening. But you said that you came here at 17.
Yeah.
¿Cómo era en Colombia? How was it different from here? Aparte del clima.
It was good, you know. It was nice. I liked where I grew up, even though, you know, I went through certain challenges. Like, I didn't want to leave. I remember at one point my mom was like, like, vayámonos de aquí, like, o sea, la joden mucho en el colegio, like, let's go somewhere else. And I was like, no, like, I want to finish school in Colombia. And so, yeah, I think obviously it's very different from here. Like, I came here because I just wanted to kind of be exposed to different things. I wanted to explore my British side as well because I'm half English. My dad's British, so I think I wanted to explore that, and I came here and I felt like more Latina than ever. But in Colombia, I obviously felt Latina, of course, but, you know, I have a very English name, so people are always like... And so yeah, I think that's one of, like, the struggles with being British Latina is, like, you feel like you're not really at home in either one of those places. And there's, like, a constant kind of, like, identity crisis, and I think that's part of what I want to do with my music is I want to create something for people like me with a multicultural background to identify with and to enjoy and to have kind of like a community where they can feel like they don't have to have that identity crisis all the time, and they can share with people that share those feelings. So yeah, but I love Colombia. Like, I go back all the time. I'm going back this January. I'm doing a songwriting camp there with with Gao. By the time this podcast comes out, I'm probably gonna be in the camp. And yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really cool.
Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool. You're still from Bogotá?
Yeah. Yeah, just like rola, o sea, don't come at me. There's a lot of hate out here for rolas, but, like, we're not that bad, I promise.
I've got family who are hosts, so that's
Okay.
But yeah, I'm Paisa. I don't sound Paisa though.
Okay.
I get that a lot. You don't sound Paisa. You don't look Colombian. But I'm from Armenia. Don't really know much. Came here when I was 2 months, pero soy más británico que quién sabe qué.
Sí. ¿Y tú do you go back a lot or?
So here's the thing. I've been back between 4 and 6 times. Porque siento que me tengo que despedir de mi abuelo. He died during the pandemic of a heart attack.
I'm so sorry.
It was difficult. So thank you for that one. It was difficult because he was like the only person that I saw every time I went to Colombia.
Yeah.
Him and my cousins. And when my mum couldn't go visit because of the whole pandemic, era difícil y yo le veía el dolor en los ojos a ella. Now she's been back twice since he died. She hasn't visited La Tumba, but I feel like para mí yo tengo que cerrar ese capítulo en mi vida to be able to go. You know what? At least I said goodbye. At least I've been to La Tumba, and I can say, look at where I am. I started because of you. Y gracias a usted. Thanks to him, I started this journey.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, thanks to him. Because he had cancer in 2021.
Oh, do you have a tattoo?
2021.
Oh.
In 2020, he had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
My dad told us. And I remember it was like a New Year's Day that we found out. So we were fine. My mum was strong. And 2 years later, he died of a heart attack. And that's when I said, you know what? Life is too short to not go for your dreams.
Yeah.
I saw my granddad struggle right at the end. And I wasn't going to go through that. So, yeah.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. That sounds very painful. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be like a great experience for you to go and just be there and speak to him like.
It'll be hard. It'll definitely be hard. But I think it's something that I have to do. Just to close that chapter and sort of thank him for everything. With my dad's side, I didn't sort of feel that when my dad's dad died. I felt nothing. And as bad as that sounds, I'm not close to my dad's family. But to my mum's, every day, and I hacía el desayuno. We'd go see him. We stayed with him for about 6 weeks. It was a lot of fun with him. But yeah, I think it's something that I've got to do for myself. After that, I don't know if I'll go back. Pero por ahora, it's something that I have to do. It's something that I feel I need to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, go do it. I know it's gonna be so hard, but it's gonna be so good for you as well. Like sometimes we just have to release those things. We just have to go to the root and just let it all out.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since I've been, so definitely need to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful country. Like,
is it?
I think obviously there's things that happen. Also, sometimes when I go there, like, there's a bit of a culture shock. There's a lot of things that are difficult to deal with, when you go there, like, oh my god, in Bogota, like, el tráfico, trust me, insane. And actually, I cry in the car.
Is it really that bad?
It's so bad, and, like,
I've heard
people
stories.
drive so crazy, like, and, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's difficult. You know, el tema de la seguridad is something to take into account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me counter that, because when Snuzito was on last season, he said he felt safer in Colombia than he did here.
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe he just had this thing where like he walked on the street, like he just owned them, like nobody messed with him. But as a woman, you know, as a woman, like I find it sometimes hard to, you know, walk around like Bogota on my own. Last time I was there were a lot of protests and stuff, and then like I remember like someone got stabbed like 2 blocks down, and it was a whole thing.
Por
so,
Petro?
Yeah. Dime?
Por Petro?
Oh,
Was it because of
what, the protests?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no, era como un paro. Ese día era como paro y habían, yeah, it was just like a bit messy. And yeah, sometimes it's difficult in that way. Because obviously here, like I can go out on my own, like I feel safe. There's like I always find it funny, like I'm about to get in the Uber and they're always like, sit at the front, si no nos echan piedras. And I'm like, what? But you know, I still love my country. I love Neiva. Like Neiva, I feel like is a bit safer than Bogota. Like there's no as many like atracos and stuff. But still, I'm always with my family. Like I never kind of go out on my own. To be fair, I don't really do that in London either, like late at night.
It really happens in Colombia, in the sense of here. There you go. Here you get your atracos, your stabbings, your fights, and it's algo normal. There was only one time that I've seen something happen in Colombia. I was very small. After that, no,
I've definitely seen some things happen around me to people that I know. So yeah, it's just, you know, as they say, like, no hay que dar papaya. Like, don't walk around with your phone out, you know, nice things, like, hide them. Like, you know.
Yeah, I get that. Pero en Colombia todo el mundo tiene su high-tech phones, su Apple iWatches. Todo el mundo da papaya en Colombia ya.
Same. Pues, I don't know, I think, yeah, there's different opinions on that. I think everybody has like a different experience.
Yeah.
Hay gente que da papaya y nunca les pasa nada, o sea, like they're like highly protected.
Actually,
that's rough. Yeah. That's scary. That's really scary.
I can imagine, but
I get like, you know, not flaunting stuff, like for sure. Like, you know, I've heard here in London as well, like, you know, people posting stuff and then like there's people that are able to track now like where you are and stuff, and they literally just go and so yeah, it's very scary. But yeah, moral of the story, no en papaya.
No en papaya, exactamente.
Yeah.
Have you been to el Parque del Café?
To where?
El Parque del Café.
No. Is that in Medellín?
No.
Armenia?
Queda...
No, like, cafetero.
Yeah, queda como a 15 minutos de Armenia.
I think I've been, when I was very little, I did like a tour around El Eje Cafetero with my parents, and you know, we went to Manizales, Armenia, Medellín, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I must have gone there at some point.
I think you should go again.
Yeah, definitely. I need a refresher.
It's changed a lot. Hay más cosas, hay más diversiones. La ruta ya no es tan larga. I can tell you that much. La comida, oh.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. So good. I love like paisa cuisine, paisa food, like banderita paisa. But honestly, one time I went to una finca in Pereira, one of my friend's fincas, and I like, honestly, I can't eat paisa food for a whole week. Yeah, I was just like constipated for like weeks after that. I need my fruits, everybody. Like, I can have beans every day, but I still love it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think for me, look at my external de Colombia is la comida.
Yeah.
And how cheap it is as well.
Yeah, oh my god, there's a shop. There's like an off license near my house, and they sell arepas. Las arepas más caras. O sea, they're like frozen arepas from Colombia, so obviously I buy them because I need my fix of arepas. But they're like £8, and it's like 5 arepas. So that's like over £2 per arepa. Like, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's very expensive arepa.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
We're the same in my house. Actually, that's something we could talk about. Because I saw a post this week about, what was it? Cosas raras colombianas que comemos.
Yeah.
And I saw it was like,
What?
el queso en chocolate.
Yeah, that's definitely very strange.
I don't think it. I think for us it's normal though.
I think
it's very normal for us to do that.
Yeah.
And to sort of see people doing it, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely like to like put a lot of things in our hot chocolate. Like in Neva, I wouldn't see so much like the cheese, but the bizcochos, they will put like bizcochos, which are like these like little biscuits, I suppose.
Okay.
And they just put them and they just let them like soak until like it actually like looks kind of disgusting, but it's good. It's nice.
What else is there? What other sort of things
I feel like
do we do?
The aborrajado is like quite a weird thing, but it's the best. It's like it's like plantain, but there's cheese inside, and then it's kind of like in a batter and it's deep fried. And then sometimes it's got a bit of like dulce de guayaba, like bocadillo. It's a very weird thing, but it works.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the other one that I saw? We put everything in our chocolate. We put buñuelo, ducales, queso, ¿qué más le echamos? Oh, arroz en el café.
Yeah. That was weird. That one I don't like. That was too much for me. Or like, oh my god, banano en el sancocho.
Banano in any soup.
Yeah, like that is like, why? It's like plátano, yes, but banano.
I bet it tastes better.
Is it? Because I've seen people do it and I'm like,
it tastes so good.
That looks nice.
No, it tastes so good.
Really?
I can recommend that actually.
It's just, I feel like fruits shouldn't be mixed with like savory foods, but you know, to each their own. I respect. I respect everyone's decision about how to eat their sancocho. That's cool.
La oblea is apparently is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's weird. It's 2 biscuits with ice cream.
Oh my god, I remember like a few years ago the Rolling Stones went to Colombia. And there was like this picture that went viral of Mick Jagger like down in like La Candelaria or something ordering an oblea. But I literally, like, nobody knew it was Mick Jagger. It literally looked like La Tía de la Esquina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just such a funny picture. I need to look it up and I'll post it because it's actually like such a funny picture. He like fully looks like La Tía de la Esquina, like, and then you realize it's Mick Jagger. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. I think anyone that goes to Colombia, they fit in.
Yeah, everybody just like loves the culture. Everyone's like, yeah. I think like it's a very embracing country. It's a very diverse country. Like there's a lot to fall in love with, and a lot of people that go there just fully like fall in love with it.
100%. Actually, when you came here to the country, did you get any of the discrimination comments? Or have you not really got that yet?
Yeah, I feel like, for example, when I was growing up, I didn't have like I had more of a Latina accent.
Yeah.
And it still like comes out at times, but then I also spent a lot of time in the States.
Okay.
And that's why I've got like an American accent. But I've definitely felt like when I when I had a stronger Latina accent, I felt a bit of like, I don't know, I just felt like people maybe wouldn't take me seriously, like in certain parts. I remember I went to like a British school once in Paraguay, my family, and we were gonna move to Paraguay, and we went there, and the headmaster, she was an English woman. She was like very excited that like a British school, a British kid was coming to the school, right? Because like my dad is English, and then we got there, and I was like, hey, hello, ¿qué más? And then she was like, wait, you do not have a British accent. And then she just like looked so disappointed, and I was just like, that really kind of like affected me. But yeah, I feel like nowadays I definitely like, I'm super unapologetic with like, you know, the fact that I'm Latina, but I do feel like when I was younger, without realizing it, I would kind of lean a bit more on like my British side in order to not be like discriminated, and that's the thing, like I'm very lucky because obviously like I have that to lean on. Like, for example, sometimes when I travel with my mom, she still only has a Colombian passport, I have my British passport, and I see there's a completely different energy when being led into the country, you know. With me, they're just like, oh cool. Even like in the States is very rough. Like in the States, they look at me, they look at my esta, like whatever. And then my mom, like they just ask her so many questions, and like she's just like this like sweet woman, and just because of her passport, she's discriminated upon. So yeah, I think like obviously I recognize like my privilege of having another nationality, so that sometimes like I'm not as discriminated. But nowadays I'm just like, I'm like, I don't care if I'm discriminated or whatever. Like I know my worth, and I know that like my culture is beautiful, and like being Latina is just like, it's the shit. Like it's the moment. Like everybody wants to be Latina now. So, and if the people that don't like it, like they just have to own it, and they just have to get over it, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely difficult. Like it definitely breaks my heart when I see like people discriminating against my mom, because she still has a very strong accent, and she comes here, and sometimes, you know, she speaks very good English, but she has a very strong accent, and I see people like criticize her, and like whenever like I feel like that sort of energy, I instantly like become very protective, and I'm like, get, because I hate that. Honestly, I hate that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because when I was little, yo siempre decía, I'm British, I'm not Colombian. Y no era tanto que me daba pena, but people used to, they still do actually. La gente se me acerca y me dice cocaína, Pablo Escobar.
Oh my god. I literally wanted.
Yeah, I used to have crutches. Y me decían, you can smuggle cocaine through that. And I was like,
my god, people are actually like, some people are so stupid. It's just like, I just look at them and I'm like, cool. Like literally, whenever anyone comes at me with like Pablo Escobar, cocaine, I just look at them like, boring. Like, what about it?
But I think, looking at you, es que they've been portrayed as these big bosses. Le han hecho novelas, le han hecho series.
Yeah.
Le han hecho películas, los mencionan aquí y allá.
Yeah. Like the fact that they're admired by people.
Yeah.
It's like, you know who this person is? Like, this person is like an evil person.
Yeah.
This is not someone to be looking up. Because everybody kind of like, you know, everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves like this sort of like person that fought up to, you know, be powerful. And
don't get us wrong, Pablo Escobar was the biggest underdog. Because he did grow up poor. But he set his mind to something, and yes, he made millions. But he caused a lot of pain and a lot of damage.
Yeah, 100%. Like, honestly, he did. Yeah, he caused a lot of pain. Just that, he caused a lot of pain. Like, he messed up like a lot of people's lives. And you know, some people say like, oh, he gave back, blah 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 blah, and pin him out to be like this Robin Hood. But it's like, I'm sorry, just because you go and kill like a bunch of people and then like give money to another person, or like like it doesn't cancel out the damage. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So I think it's sad that
And the other thing was he didn't give back. Pablo Escobar gave back, but to protect himself. He gave back because he knew that the communities were to save him. He gave back to people who he knew he could hire in the future.
Yeah.
And to kill.
Yeah, he was very calculated, power hungry,
yeah.
a narcissist. Like, he's just not a person to be admired.
No. I say all of this. I have watched the novelas, I have watched the series, I have watched the documentaries. And the one that I watched recently about Tata, who's Pablo Escobar's wife, and actually, I sort of felt sorry for her, because her life was difficult. I didn't realize how difficult it was.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched that, so I can't really speak on it, but I can imagine, like, being married to a man like that, and I imagine it must not be easy. You know, I also think, like, you know, you chose to stay, which...
Apparently she didn't. She was forced.
Really? I mean, as I said, like, I haven't watched it, so I can't speak on it.
There was a little bit that she wrote him, and she sort of gave him an ultimatum. But apparently she was forced to stay with him. Otherwise, algo le pasaba a los hijos.
I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah, I can imagine.
So
he threatened everyone, so it would make sense.
Yeah. So everyone that's sort of going Cali Cartel, Pablo Escobar, these are not people to look up to. These are people who the country feared for many years.
Yeah, and I feel like we still kind of, you know, suffer a lot of the repercussions because of this, just down to that sort of discrimination, you know, and some people sometimes looking at you in a way that they shouldn't because of all this, you know, it's been romanticized, like, the whole...
Have you ever had an issue at the airport?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, as I said, I mean, I remember one time I was going to Berklee College of Music. I got a scholarship to go there for, like, a summer camp. I was obviously super happy. Like, it was, it was an incredible opportunity. And they sent us, like, a stamp in the mail being like, oh, make sure that when you go through customs, like, you get this stamp on your passport. Yeah. So then we were at the immigration and my mom just, like, took out this paper and they were like, oh, yeah, like, the school said that you guys should give her this stamp. And the guy was like, where did you get the photo of this stamp? Like, I don't know. And he just kind of got all suspicious, like, because we had a picture of the stamp. And they put us in a room, like, in one of those, like, rooms, like, and they just kept us there for hours, like, no information about anything. They were like, oh, just wait while we verify. And, like, there was nothing wrong, like, we did nothing wrong, but we were kept in there for literally hours on hours. I think it was like 6 hours total, like, just sitting in this, like, white, like, horribly lit room, being really scared, like, are we gonna get deported, like, what's happening? And then they just came back and they just gave us back our passports and they were like, yeah, you're good to go. So I feel like it was mostly just like a fear tactic, like, you know, and that really upset me. Like, yeah, it's just a horrible thing. Like, when you feel like discrimination and you haven't done anything wrong, it's so sad because you feel so powerless. Like, and for me, like, that's one of the worst feelings because, like, for me, it's important to be in control of my own life, like, and when you have that control taken away from you for something that you didn't even choose, I think that's one of the worst feelings, honestly. I don't wish it on anyone.
100%. I think as Latinos, we struggle a lot. I'm not saying other cultures don't struggle, but me and you, we can't speak on other cultures because we sort of don't know what they go through. 100%. But Latinos struggle a lot. Especially when they get to the UK, they don't speak the language. People will take advantage of you, and they will take advantage of the fact that maybe you're an immigrant, maybe you came in illegally. They will take advantage of you and they'll put you to work hard hours for little money and you struggle and they know that you are powerless to sort of do anything about it because, You know, that if they say something, you're straight back home, and it's difficult. So I think as Latinos, we do struggle. We do suffer a lot of discrimination. But I think what we're doing now as a community is helping us have a voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about Latin music kind of becoming so big in the last few years, is that it has kind of given the Latinos a voice. And the bigger kind of like, worldwide international community. It's helped us voice our struggles. And I think there's still a lot of work, to be done, like as a society, to end discrimination, because it's a very sad thing. Like it's very sad. And I feel for every culture that is discriminated against. So I think we just have to keep bringing it always to the forefront, like always building awareness around it. And I think having things that people enjoy from our culture, like our music and our food, and they come to our country and they see like the beauty in it, is definitely like helping the cause.
100%. I think having places like Seven Sisters, Brixton, Elephant and Castle that have a lot of the Latin culture, not just the Colombian, but a lot of the Latin culture, Boda Ocho, it sort of helps put us on the market, because people will go and be like, oh, that was a fun night.
Yeah.
I remember the first Latin festival Luch did in Finsbury Park. I don't know if you know John Valencia. So J Productions, he was hosting it, and there was a Bengali girl just in the front, just vibing to the music, and she was having a blast, and for me, seeing that was amazing, because with the Latin festival, a lot of people come to it. It's free entry. People have a lot of fun. But people enjoy it. People come and enjoy the music, dance.
For sure. And like, obviously Latin music isn't as big in the UK, but if anything, I think the UK is one of the countries that needs it most, because it brings something so different that's sometimes like lacking in British culture, which is like that warmth, like that just, I don't know, it's just like this vibe that is really hard to find in the UK. Obviously, like the weather and everything, like it just lends itself for people to sometimes be a little bit on the lower side of your mood, and Latin music just helps you let it all out, have fun, like it brings an energy that I feel like UK people need. So I love to see more and more British people or Europeans or just from anywhere kind of like coming into that and embracing that energy. I love to see that.
Yeah, I think we're making our mark, and it's great to see. But I think we need to have a little less of the cocaine jokes and the Pablo Escobars.
Yeah.
Have more of the Reneguitas, the James Rodriguez. Just a little bit more of appreciation for them.
Yeah. That's why we need more, like, good people representing the country, like good people, like kind of coming to the forefront, and just being a voice for our country in a positive way, for sure.
100%.
But the Pablo thing, I think, is always gonna be there because he had a really big impact, and I feel like people are very drawn sometimes to that idea of like power, money, like that's just something that's always going to be like, there's always gonna be someone that's like, oh yeah, Pablo Escobar, Batman, it's just always gonna be this person. At least they're very outspoken, so you can like clock them really quick and be like, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore.
Do you think there's gonna be another Pablo Escobar or no?
Do I think there's going to be another Pablo Escobar?
Yeah.
I don't think there could be. I think because it's happened once, I think everyone's like, I don't think, certain powers would allow that to happen. I think those really big kind of like phenomenons like happen only once, because then we're better protected against something. I mean, at least that's what I'd like to think. If there was another Pablo Escobar, I'd be very worried about our society.
Well, we say that, but we have like a guerrilla,
yeah,
and then they go into presidency.
yeah.
So,
True.
are we better off?
True, it's
president?
It's debatable. I guess like now the power is maybe a bit more insidious. Like, you know.
Who's the president in the moment? Pedro.
Pedro.
And what was he? Just the full circle. What was he?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a known fact. He was guerrillero.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's also like, I mean, I think that's he's also an underdog, and I think that's what draws a lot of people to him. And obviously, like, we all love an underdog, you know. Underdogs are great. Like, we love to see how someone like can rise up, and it's very inspiring. But we also have to be careful, because sometimes you know.
Did you vote or no?
I did vote.
Okay.
Yes, I was going to vote.
I'm not gonna ask you who,
because Street.
I'm not gonna ask you who.
I don't think I really want to get into
that.
Like,
that's very
that. Very touchy things.
That's very touchy.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I was gonna vote, but I don't remember why I didn't. I think it was raining and it's too far. I was just like, I'm really not bothered to go vote.
I think it's important, like, even though we're far away and we might feel like we don't really face the repercussions.
We don't, but our family does.
Yeah, no, and everyone, like, I just, I still feel like very connected to my country.
Yeah.
I want the best for my country. I go back very often. So I always kind of, you know, I always go vote. Just Great Portland Street.
Yeah.
The embassies. It's good to
100%.
be part of it.
I don't think it's too far to go all the way to Oxford Circus and come back just for like a quick vote. Yeah. Very proud of Colombian there. Now I'm a very proud Colombian. My mum just got back on Friday, which I'm very happy to have her back.
Nice.
But yeah, it's an amazing feeling being Colombian and having that sort of connection to not being British.
Yeah.
Well, you're a bit of both, but for me, it's something that me and Luke sort of discussed the other day was not being part of a community, because I wasn't part of a community for 30 years. No, 27 years. No tuve comunidad, no tuve nada. So to be a part of this community means the absolute world to me. Meeting people like you, KD, and Mecca Tiff.
Yeah.
That absolutely means the world to me. Because it's so easy to sort of speak to you and it's a genuine connection. It's not forced. It's not something that's planned. It's just sort of happens, and our path sort of cross. And
it's beautiful. Like, I think the Latin community in London and the UK is very nice. I spent a lot of time here in London, not being a part of it, like not even being aware of it existing. And when I discovered it, there's been a big change in my life since I've come into it, and since I've felt like I can be Latina in the UK, because a lot of the time I felt like I kind of like couldn't fully be in like my Latinaness. But now I feel like I can express that and get support from people, and just, you know, represent and feel proud of being part of something bigger. I think that's super important.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Being part of a movement is very exciting. Seeing things, like seeing other people like succeed in so, like where we thought that maybe we weren't being seen or being heard, and that's awesome. I feel very happy and just proud of what we're doing.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think I'm trying to put it in a good way. Hold on. I think seeing so many people that are authentic and really want to support you and really want to be there without a hidden agenda really helps.
Yeah, and that's difficult to find sometimes. Yeah, we need more people like that for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. So I think that's the end of the podcast.
Cool.
Thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
It's been amazing to have you on and sort
lovely.
of chat with you. Finally meeting you.
Yes, thank you so much. Honestly, I really enjoyed it.
Me too. I think there's a lot more to come for you. 100%. I think you're gonna succeed in anything you put your mind to.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Are you this goes out in January, so are you performing back in November? It's a bit of a weird sentence.
No, I will not be performing. I've got a very I'm doing this theater gig. I'm doing the pantomime, and basically it's 2 shows a day for 6 days a week. So I'm gonna be playing those shows. Yeah, but no, it's cool. Like honestly, I love like just playing guitar and doing these gigs. So yeah, I'm doing that all of December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I won't be doing those shows.
Oh, okay. That was a very weird sentence in my mind to actually say.
Oh yeah,
because
it's like old time traveling time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're gonna excel in everything you do. You're gonna have a lot more shows, more festivals, 100%. Can't wait to see what you and Katie do with the wrong side, the songwriting sessions.
Yes, I'm excited for that. Hit us up if you want a songwriting session.
100%. You're one of the best producers, aren't you, in the UK?
What, me?
Yeah, I've heard good things about you.
I mean,
I've seen a lot of stories about you. So,
I mean, I wouldn't like say I'm the best producer. Like, I definitely co-produce all of my records, and I do a bit of production. But, yeah, I wouldn't call myself that.
I've seen a lot of stories, and I'd be proud to call you that.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you for whoever's saying that. I appreciate you.
But yeah, this is the first episode of season 2, and we got more to come.
Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you.